Welcome back, everyone. I am very happy to welcome Parker as our next speaker. She's attending in person, and she'll be sharing her screen about her pretty amazing journey these last few years. So, Parker, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. So again, my name is Parker Arntsen-Beaudin. I am a senior at Northern Waters Environmental School, and I'm the coordinator for the Lake Ecology Education Program at the Friends of the Eau Claire Lakes area. So what I'm going to be presenting about is a little bit about my school, how it works, and how we meet core standards through project-based environmental learning. And I'm also going to give my presentation on my senior capstone project. So yeah, I just want to shed some light on the impacts and opportunities that project-based learning can open for students. So yeah, we're just waiting on a couple of people here. Okay. So just I introduced myself earlier, but I don't think I need this slide. This is about me because I already introduced myself. So I'm first going to talk about Northern Waters Environmental School. So Northern Waters Environmental School is a project-based environmental school in Hayward, Wisconsin for it's 6th through 12th grade, and there's only about 40 students in the school. So Northern Waters Environmental School, it's project-based learning, and a lot of it focuses on environmental stewardship. I should have had a slide for this, but the different classes that Northern Waters had include seminar, independent learning projects, Alex Math, Reader's Workshop, and field days. The seminar projects are teacher-initiated group projects that the students will collaborate with each other about, and I'm really sorry. I should have had I should have had another slide for this. But they're teacher-led projects. We've done a lot of different things with that. We've grown mushrooms. We've done gardening. Before I came to Northern Waters, they built a solar kiln. There's a picture of it on the top right. So a kiln completely powered by the sun. So that's really cool. The independent learning projects are semester-long projects that the students decide what they want to learn about. They will form an essential question, and then they will do a long project on it. So different examples of independent learning projects are going to be, well, some of the ones that I've done was on graphic design. I've done projects on the wolf hunt a couple years ago. I've done projects on I'm really sorry I'm blanking. I really should have had another slide for this. I didn't get much sleep last night. Um, so they're just semester-long projects that the students will be able to learn about what they're interested in, which is something really valuable. If it wasn't for these projects, I think I like wouldn't be where I am today, really. Especially the wolf hunt, that's really where I decided that I wanted to go into a more STEM-related field. So here's the core subject integration. You can't see it too well here, but basically the different classes that we have, it's all integrated into core subjects. So with seminar, English language arts is integrated through seminar, independent learning projects, Reader's Workshop, and field days. I didn't talk about field days, but every week we go out into the field and we learn different things. We've done like ice fishing. We've done projects at the Hayward Recreational Forest. And I think it's really great because it's a break from like the traditional 8 a.m. go to school, sit at a desk for 8 hours, go home. And we learn through our projects out in the field. We've also done like more than just going outside and learning. We've done like long-term projects that you can still see today. When I was in 6th grade, we planted a rain garden at Nelson Lake. So if you actually go to Nelson Lake and see all the flowers there, those are flowers that I helped plant. So it's really cool to see the impact that our different projects can do for the community. So this is the part I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about. Usually it's my teachers doing the presentations about our actual school. But this is College, Career, and Beyond. This is what I've titled my senior capstone project. I will actually be giving my official capstone presentation tonight at the Hayward Library. So that's really exciting. I remember attending a capstone presentation in 6th grade and thinking about when I would do that when I'm a senior. So the main driving question that I had for college, career, and beyond was, how can I best prepare myself for college and career while growing personally? So this was a very broad, general project that could have had a lot of different approaches. So I mostly just focused on what opportunities can I take advantage of that can help myself, help me be more prepared for college and university, and then also like set up a career, like a really strong career network for my career going forward. So the main goals for my capstone, of course, this was like my big main goal, was prepare myself for college financially and academically through scholarships and dual enrollment courses. So when I first designed my capstone, I knew that I wanted to do college courses during my senior year. So that was like one of my big main goals. How can I make this work? I also wanted to develop a career network and improve my networking skills. So I wanted to attend events and just meet new people. And I find, especially through STEM, that one of the most important the most important thing about being successful and getting opportunities is your network and keeping in contact with people. So that was something I really wanted to focus on. I also wanted to get involved with different extracurriculars and organizations. I will go more into it later in my presentation. And I also wanted to have meaningful experiences that will impact my academic and career path in a positive way. So that meant a lot of traveling and also just taking advantage of experiences and just getting involved anywhere I can. My supporting questions is, how can I learn to manage a college workload and college schedule? So this was one of the most difficult ones, I would say, especially because it's a lot different from high school, I found. What can I be involved in academically and personally that will provide me with meaningful experiences? So again, that's just getting involved and finding different things and taking advantages of different opportunities. And then how can I develop networking skills to create a strong and involved career network? I will go more into like how I went about that later here. One of the first things I focused on was my dual enrollment courses at Ojibwe College. So over the summer, I applied. Ojibwe College is an open enrollment tribal college on the Lakota Reserve near Hayward, Wisconsin. So when I first applied, they got back to me. Of course, it's open enrollment, so I got in. But when I first set up my classes, I only took 2 classes. And when I got more involved, I actually picked up more classes. So I started with 2 classes, and then the next week I picked up another class, and then I came back and from a trip and I picked up another class. So I was doing a full college workload as a senior, and then I continued that through the semester. So I was a liberal arts major, but I'll be going more into this, but I went to the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, a national conference in Phoenix, Arizona. And then that's when I came back, that's really when it clicked. I was like, I wanna go into STEM. I wanna do science. So I changed my major to science. So you'll be seeing a lot more science courses when I show you my schedule here. So I was a complete full-time student my entire senior year at LCO. Here's the different classes that I took. And then also, I just wanted to include my grade because I just wanted to like show how I was successful in different areas. I didn't expect to get all A's, especially the second semester, but I'm really happy that I did. So then other achievements at Lacurio Ojibwe College and the skills that I learned. So the main two achievements was that because I got all A's, I was president's list for the fall semester and the spring semester. So that meant two $50 Walmart gift cards. And then also this Friday, I will be attending the awards banquet for Honors LCO students with my high school advisor. And then in October 2021, I was asked to write an article for the weekly newsletter that the college does. So I wrote about like why I chose LCO and why I think it was like what I like, my favorite classes were, and why I think other students should go to college, or like especially tribal members, because I feel like a lot of them are really on the fence of getting a college degree, especially because many of them are first generation. So I talked about that a lot in the article too. I'm going to be going more into my achievements later, but the honoring ceremony at LCO, they're actually holding it for me tomorrow. So they're gonna like show like a video for me, and then people are gonna like are gonna speak to my achievements, and I think it's just gonna be a really good time. So the main skill that I learned was time management, especially in college. I feel like I would have been really lost without my planner this year. But I did manage to keep on top of things, especially because I was working part-time while doing college. And then also, I wasn't doing any high school classes, but I still had to go in about once a week to check in with my advisor. So I think time management was a skill that I really learned this year. So studying skills, I would say, especially what I learned was, especially through my STEM classes, is flashcards and tactile learning. I found like I was most successful in my tests when I was writing things, especially when I was practicing with flashcards. So I think that's a just a cool little thing that I learned about myself. And I feel like when I go to university this year that I will be more successful if I know what way I learn the best. I didn't really have a good word for this, so I just call it community skills. So it was just getting really involved with the community at LCO. I feel like a lot of them know me from when I was really little. So it's kind of walking around the college and everyone says hi to you. Everyone says good morning. It's kind of like everyone's your auntie, I guess, at LCO. And everyone is willing to talk. So I think community skills, I think that's just more about making everyone feel welcome, and also like having conversations with people. I feel like everyone at LCO like really wants all their students to achieve. So here's the two main extracurriculars. See, it didn't go up there yet. The two main extracurriculars I was involved in, there it is, was the American Indian Science and Engineering Society chapter. That's a picture of everyone at my chapter. We went to the American Indian Science and Engineering Society Leadership Summit in Temecula, California. And that was a really fun time. We made matching ribbon skirts, and the way that we designed it, you can't really see it too well, but there's a handprint, and that's for the murdered and missing Indigenous women epidemic. So we do little projects like that, and we also we do a lot of fundraising for our trips. The main trips are the National Conference and the Leadership Summit. That's mostly what I was involved in. I was also really involved with like selling like raffle tickets for our fundraisers and stuff. But the main extracurricular that took up far much more of my time was the First Nations launch high-powered rocketry competition. It's a NASA-hosted high-powered rocketry competition. It's hosted through the Wisconsin Space Grant Consortium, and we got to launch, build, and fly a high-powered rocket. This was very challenging. I was the team lead / president of the rocket club, and we started with 5, and they kind of started slowly going away after that. So we finished with 2. It was me and one other person. The one other person, she goes to the Lac de Flambeau outreach site, so she couldn't be on campus to actually help me with building the rocket. So that was a challenge too. But it was an overall really great experience. Both of our parachutes deployed and it landed safely. It landed in the water, but it landed. It went. We didn't get the data off of it yet of how high it went at the competition, but it had a projected apogee of 2,800 feet. So it was going about almost a mile. And the motor that we had in it really kicks. So it's put on this rail exit. It's put on there, and when it kicks, it really kicks. So it would come off this rail at about 120 miles an hour. So that was really cool to see, especially to know that I worked really hard on it and that it flew. Unfortunately, when I was there was one team that was the University of Washington Seattle team. Their altimeter failed, so their parachutes, they didn't deploy. So it went up, it turned, and it came down, and it hit the ground like a missile. So I'm just thankful that didn't happen to ours. So the job I've been doing this year as Lake Ecology Education Coordinator through the Friends of the Eau Claire Lakes area. So this is an award-winning environmental education program for middle school students. We engage them through different modules and throughout the fall and the spring of the school year. Normally it would just be the 7th graders, but because of COVID, the 8th graders didn't get a chance to do it this year. So we've actually been hosting 2 different grades. We actually had 2 big field days this year too, so that was interesting. So the different topics that we cover include like different things that affect the lake ecosystem. So that includes critical habitat, different tree studies, phytoplankton, macroinvertebrates. And the main goal is to really engage them to be like the next generation of environmental stewards. And not only is it only for STEM and not only is it STEM and environmental science that they're doing, but it is also integrated with one of their core subjects, English. We collaborate with their English class, and they will write reports and stories and poems about learning through LEAP and then also through the Big LEAP Field Day as well. So my role, I do a lot of the secretary work, so that includes meeting minutes and responding to emails, and I'm coordinating our different volunteers. It's, of course, responding to emails all day isn't the most fun thing. I feel like a lot of you probably know that, but it is a skill to be able to respond to people, know what to respond to quickly and what to put off, and make sure you not put it off for too long. I also assisted with the indoor labs. Unfortunately, I was only able to assist with one this time because they were all scheduled on Thursdays, which was the day that I had a college classes from about 9 a.m. to 4:30 all day. So I wasn't able to make it to most of them, but I was really happy that I was able to assist with that. And the main I'm sorry, I need to capture my train of thought really quick. The main thing I did for the outdoor field day, so at like the end of the LEAP program, after the students do all of their indoor labs and do all their inside learning, we have a full day field day for the students that they will be learning outside, and they will expand on what they learned about in the indoor modules, and then also applying the critical thinking to like the so what, I guess. And I think this is really important because it's different from learning like in a slideshow in a classroom, like showing the pictures of the lakes, but actually being there and being able to interact with the environment is really important too. So my role was the logistics, so a lot of the setting up for the field day, a lot of taking stuff down after the field day, but also the timekeeping. So that was my main role, to make sure that the students were rotating at the correct times as well. So this is the most exciting part. So one of the best, or one of the most important things was to set myself up financially for college. If you don't know, I'm going to be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison this fall, and it's not cheap. So I knew that I needed to apply for scholarships wherever I could, and then to also have like meaningful experiences with it. So the main scholarship that I'm going to be talking about, let's see it. Oh, it's not showing. There we go. The main scholarship that I applied for was the Dr. Robert H. Goddard Memorial Dinner Keynote Scholarship. So this scholarship is funded through the National Space Club and Foundation, which is headquartered in Washington, D.C. It is a $10,000 scholarship for high school seniors through graduate students, and it's a highly competitive national scholarship. On average, there's about 5,000 to 7,000 applicants a year, and 5 finalists, they must compete to get this scholarship. So they will have an online interview with the scholarship committee, and then they will also submit their full written keynote speech that they would give at the Dr. Robert H. Goddard Memorial Dinner. So the Goddard Memorial Dinner is held at the Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C., and it's about 2,000 people, and they will give this speech in front of the entire audience. And the audience includes members from Blue Origin, SpaceX, NASA, and members of Congress. So I did get this scholarship, and I did give the keynote speech in I did get the scholarship. I gave the keynote speech back in March at the Washington Hilton, and it was even more exciting, the audience members, because I didn't get to meet him, but Bill Nye, the science guy, was there. He was in the audience when I gave my speech. So here's some pictures from the dinner. It was not as scary as I thought, because I was watching videos of the previous keynote speakers. I was a 10th keynote speaker from the scholarship. When I was getting ready to apply, part of what I did was I watched every single speech that they had on YouTube, because part of my initial application was I had to submit a video on why I'm inspired by space. So I kind of got a sense of what they wanted. And I thought it was really scary, because when they panned the camera, it made the audience look a lot bigger than it did. But when I actually walked into the room, it was a lot smaller than I thought it was. And I was like, is this it? So it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. But it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, especially because the date was March 18th. That was the day I gave my keynote speech that night. And the next day was my birthday, which is March 19th, my 18th birthday. And I threw that into my speech. And this is one of the coolest things, is that the whole audience crescendoed, singing happy birthday to me. So that was a really cool experience. I had to sit up at the big head table. You can see one of those pictures right there. So it was a little weird, because everyone in the audience could watch me eat throughout the whole dinner part. But it was cool, because I was sitting in the on the same level as the people from SpaceX that got one of the awards this year. But let's see if I can show you. The speech actually came on YouTube yesterday. They put it up on their website. So let's see if I can show you. So if you Google National Space Club, this is their website. Let's see if it'll go up there. Yeah, this is their website. So if you want to watch my keynote speech, the speech itself is about 10 minutes long, but the video is 20 minutes. And I'll tell you why in a second. But if you want to see my speech, you go to Goddard Memorial Dinner up on top, and you click on Keynote Speaker. And then there's me with the like the short little citation that they have here. This is the full press release, and if you want to see mine, you just click 2022 view the keynote speeches, and it will open YouTube to the speech if that's something you're interested in seeing later. Ah, okay. Oh, whoops, it started from the beginning. Sorry, it's just, there we go. So the reason why it was 19 minutes long was because Susan Nelson, you can't see her face, but she's the lady that was hugging me there. She was like the host of that night. She's the president of the National Space Club and Foundation this year. And she came back up and she said that there was discussion of increasing the award for the scholarship the next year from $10,000 to $15,000. And this dinner was on a Friday. And she said that Monday, that by unanimous vote, they decided to make the change retroactively. So they increased my scholarship from $10,000 to $15,000. So that was another cool thing. I met, they had all these hospitality suites after the dinner part, and I got to meet with a lot of people. I was invited by, let's see, what were the highlights? I was invited by John Riordan. He's one of the heads for the Amazon Alexa, and Amazon and NASA, they're partnering to put a Amazon Alexa into the moon's orbit later this year. So he wants me to go down to Texas to be a part of what they say to the Alexa when she's in space. That's the most odd thing I was offered. That's the most unique thing I was offered while I was at the dinner. Certainly. I was also approached by a journalist for SAT magazine, which is like an aerospace and space exploration centered magazine. She wants to do a interview with me for an article, and she also wants me to do a podcast episode with her. I was also approached by one of the heads at NASA Environmental Systems, I think it was. And she said that she's going to connect me with the head of climate change research at NASA for an internship sometime in the next few years. So that was something else I was offered. And I think here's the coolest thing I was offered. The main trophy was the Goddard Trophy, and it goes to the team or individual that made the most impact on the space exploration industry in the past year. So this year I went to the NASA JPL Mars Ingenuity team because they put a helicopter on Mars this past year. They came up to me afterwards, two of them, and he was holding like the big Goddard trophy in his like under his shoulder, and he was like, do you want to come work at JPL next summer? So I'm gonna be working at NASA JPL next summer with the Mars Ingenuity team. So that's the coolest thing. And really, I don't think I would have been offered this without attending Northern Waters Environmental School, especially because the director and my high school advisor wrote two awesome recommendation letters. So they noticed my application out of the several thousands to be a finalist, and I don't think I would have been able to do that without them. Okay, here's one more scholarship. This is the Mercer Jaylee Scholars Program. So this is a cool one. This one I didn't even apply for. When I applied to University of Wisconsin-Madison, they automatically sent all my information to the scholarship committees. So they automatically applied me for a bunch of scholarships that they had. So this is the premier scholarship at Madison, and it's for students from underrepresented and marginalized groups. It includes academic and personal advising, networking opportunities, and building connections with a cohort of other Mercer Jaylee scholars. So this includes monthly meetings, different team building activities with the cohort, and then also because it's a premier scholarship, you have to say you're Mercer Jaylee scholar. So there's people that come in, like different career recruiters that come in and they just talk to the Mercer Jaylee scholars. So this one's a little bit bigger. This one, sorry, whoops. The financial award, it includes full tuition renewable for up to 4 academic years, as long as activeness within the Mercer Jaylee's scholars community and a GPA of at least 3.0 is maintained. So I think total, that's like, that's a lot of money, like $50,000 with Madison tuition. So I was really happy I got that. I got the email that was like, you were offered the Mercer Jaylee scholarship. And I was like, what is this? And I looked it up and I was like, Mom, I think I got a full ride to Madison. So that's something that was really cool too. So moving forward, so some opportunities that are coming my way. This summer, I'm going to intern at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities for the research experience for undergraduates on sustainable land and water resources. This is funded through the National Science Foundation. So National Science Foundation internships, especially these REUs, are very competitive. So they're very accommodating. So they do living expenses, they cover living expenses plus a stipend. Am I going over time a little bit? Okay. Yeah, I think this is my last slide, one of my last slides. So I will be, it's sustainable land and water resources. So there's 3 different stations. There's a station in Duluth, Minnesota. There's the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, and there's a station at Salish Kootenai College in Montana. So I'm stationed in Minneapolis. So I will be working on Team Stream, and I will be focusing on how urban development is affecting the wildlife and ecosystems around the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus. So that's something I'm going to work on this summer. I will be there for about 8 weeks, and I will be making like a scientific poster, and they also fund for me to go to a science conference to present my work. So hopefully that means this year I'll be able to go to the ACES conference again and be able to present my poster. So I already mentioned this, but I will be interning next summer with the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I don't know all the details for it yet, but I will be working, there's 3 different groups within the Mars Ingenuity team, and I will be working with one of those. So this is something I just found out about 2 days ago. So as I mentioned, I just went to Washington, D.C., and I met with, I went to the Eisenhower building. I was invited to the Eisenhower building, and I met with Chirag Parekh and Diane Howard. Chirag Parekh, he's the executive secretary to Kamala Harris. So we were talking to him a lot about different opportunities in space. And then Diane Howard, she is the director of the National Space Council in Washington, D.C. And I feel like there's a lot of ties to Kamala Harris in there because Kamala Harris is the chair for the National Space Council currently. So that's also really cool. But they were talking to me about how they're helping set up the first Native American Space Conference in Oklahoma. It's going to be November 16th and 17th. There's no like official title for it yet or any information out, but they know one of the head people for it, and Dan Howard got me in contact with him, and we're going to see about if I can make it down there and give a speech address for the first Native American Space Conference. So I just want to conclude with different thoughts, with some closing thoughts. So I really don't think that I would be where I am today without Northern Waters, especially the project-based learning and the flexibility I had as a senior. to take dual enrollment courses. I don't even think I would be accepted into Madison if I didn't do dual enrollment courses as well. So I feel like the Foresters do like different schools reach out to you to do programs or like come and speak or anything. Has that ever happened? Yeah, so I feel like if like these schools reach out to you or they want to collaborate, that I feel like you definitely should, because that's like part of it too, is collaborating with the community and just the different connections that these students make too, especially with me. I feel like I was able to make a lot of valuable connections, even like as a middle schooler, getting to meet with different foresters and learn about different things. So if these schools reach out to you, I feel like you should definitely like reach out back and like get involved with the students at these schools.
Wow, that was
I'm sorry, I didn't practice. I didn't practice it at all before I gave it. I just finished my slideshow at like 11:30 last night.
it was perfect.
That means you already are a college student, so.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
We have time for a couple questions. I know Carl's gonna be next, and then we have Jim on the docket. We will go into lunch just a little bit. I think we're having great conversations, so I apologize to our audience for being a little bit off schedule, but I think we're flexible and I think we're doing pretty good. So
Yeah.
a couple questions, and thank you so much, Parker. We're really glad to have you.
I just wanted to say it's what you've already accomplished is very impressive, and I absolutely buy your premise that project-based learning is an excellent approach in a middle school, high school setting to set you up for these opportunities. So I'm glad to hear it worked for you. As a community college professor, it's always nice to hear someone doing dual enrollment. Some of my best students have been dual enrollment PSEO students, and I love seeing students like you take advantage of that. But what do you know what your major is going to be at UW-Madison?
Environmental science for sure. I'm thinking about double majoring in legal studies. Because I did a year of dual enrollment, that means if I went for just environmental science that I could finish my degree in 3 years. But because my scholarship covers 4 years of tuition, I think I'm gonna double major
Cool.
to like take advantage of that.
Cool. So you'd probably be in the Nelson, taking classes in the Nelson Institute. And, yeah, check out some geography courses too. But have fun.
Thank you. I promise that if you watch the video that this speech is better than this presentation that I gave today.
This is not a comment, but the dress that you wore to the speech was also my wedding dress on
Wow.
So if you talk to Alexa, what would you say in space?
Oh. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. What do you even say? What do you even say?
Is it going to be projected out? For like Alexa, what you say to Alexa space, is it going to be repeated out, or who's going to hear it?
I think it's gonna be like through through a transmitter. So she'll be in the spaceship, and then they'll transmit my voice into the spaceship, and then she'll be able to hear it from there. I'll probably ask her to play music. I'm not too sure what yet.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.